Hello, Julie Bartkus here, and I wanted to come to you with this tip on overwhelm and how do you change your life into something that you want it to be. And this has been a continuous practice of mine, thinking about, there's this destination that I want to get to, whether it's the book that I'm thinking about writing or a course that I'm developing or whatever it might be, or my workouts I'm getting through as I'm just wrapping up one workout now. But how do I get to this place, right? Because thinking about your life in terms of that person that you really want to be can be incredibly hard. Whether it's getting 20 pounds off, getting more muscle definition, getting that team of your dreams, getting an additional $100,000 in revenue flowing in, whatever it might be, it can become so overwhelming. And I know there's been times in my life where the thoughts just overwhelm me. And I think that the mission is so impossible. I just want to crawl into bed in a fetal position, pull the covers over my head and say, why even bother? Why even try? So what I've learned to do is each week, each day, every time I take a trip, every time I'm on the road speaking, I think about one thing, just one thing. And this weekend I reflected and I said, what's one thing that I could do differently this week that will change everything else? And I always think about waking up tomorrow different than I am today. And that may mean something as simple as a little corner of my office gets organized, just one little corner. It may mean I have a difficult conversation with somebody, right? It may mean that I improve a process, that you look at your hiring and your interviewing and your orientation, and you work in one little piece of what you're going to be doing differently. So my mission for myself every day is, how do I become different tomorrow? If I'm heading out on the road, I'm speaking to a team or speaking on stage, I think to myself, what's one thing I could do before I go that's going to reflect the different person that I'm going to be when I return? So think about one thing. So here's what I did this week is I was thinking about my physical fitness goals, my health goals, and I know that meal planning has not been my strength. So there's a local guy I found who caters and does meals for people. So I scheduled like 11 meals to be delivered. Got some for my mom in there. Don't tell her. It's going to be a surprise. But I got some meals delivered. Then I spent yesterday morning just bulk cooking some chicken and some different things. So I took this one thing. I'm like, okay, that's the one thing I'm going to do. And then I expanded upon it. So it had this domino effect to where it was changing everything else, and I felt myself changing in who I was being. So that was one thing I changed. Meal delivery service, easy enough. Meals came to me, they were delivered. I was so excited, and then I was so inspired by this one change that I made. It led me to make a few others in terms of getting some things bulk cooked for the week. The other thing I did is that I know that sometimes I get up, I work out with my trainer, and that starts my day. And I decided to line up some accountability partners so I could start my day a little bit earlier with goal setting, reflections, and meditations. So it's easy to be overwhelmed. And I tell you what, I know it. I know it well. I live in that state. I continuously pull myself out of that state using different tools and strategies. But if you could think, what's one thing that I could do today? What's one thing I could do differently to help me progress and just do and implement that one thing? It's going to make a world of difference, because imagine in 12 weeks from now, you just do one different thing every day or every week, whatever works for you, right? You can't get too small with this. And actually, the smaller you go, the better. And sometimes for me, it's doing one thing, and other times for me, it's thinking a different thought. It's, what's not working, and how can I think a different thought about that thing to get a different result? So I'm Julie Bartkus, been transforming workplaces for over 20 years, and I hope this tip has helped you. When you get overwhelmed, we have to keep the big picture in mind of what we want to look like, or what our life is going to look like, or what are the people going to be like who surround us. And then really keep that in your mind, but then say, it's just about one thing. What's one thought I could think that would be different? What's one little action that I could take that would make me different and be reflective of the person that I'm becoming? And remember, it's not about getting to that destination. And I used to hear this a lot. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But when you hear that and you're not embarking on the journey, the thought doesn't make a lot of sense. But once you start every single day just changing one thing, organize something, make something a little cleaner, cook something different, go get a salad, whatever it might be. But just do that one thing that's different, and then you're engaging on the journey. And when you start the journey, other things start unfolding for you. And if you're really struggling with staff, if you're struggling with motivation, think about one thing that you could do differently there. Maybe you're not so quick to hire the next live person that comes into the door. Maybe you interject 3 different interview questions. So you could always be thinking about this one thing in regards to what's your biggest pain point? What do you really want to change? And then think, what's one thing that would make it just a little bit better? Implement that thing, think that thought, and you're engaging on the journey where you will gain a greater understanding that success is truly in the journey and not in the final destination. I'm Julie Bartkus. Can't wait to see your comments, and I wish you an incredible day.